Hey everybody, it's Mike from Fishing the Mid-South, and today I wanted to go over my pole tester. And this is a rig that I've kind of built myself out of parts and pieces, a lot of which I got from Amazon. I will create an idea list on the storefront, which will be linked in the description. You can click on that Amazon storefront, see these items. If you want to buy them, go ahead, click through the link, all that fun stuff. I get a small commission. Your price doesn't change at all. Helps me out, and hopefully the list there will help you out to find things quickly. So I use this rig to test line strength, hook strength, rig strength, knot strength. It's amazing what this does. All in, I'm a little over $100. I don't know exact numbers. But the amount of information I've gotten from this is absolutely incredible. And I say that because I've proven to myself things that we've heard all these years that are supposed to be true or not necessarily true. Like the Palomar is the best knot ever. It's the strongest knot you'll ever find. No. I also found out that the clinch knot is horrible. The improved clinch knot is better. The trilene knot is amazing. And these are all talking about mono. I'm not getting into fluorocarbon yet. I'm not getting into braid. But anyway, so I've got a lot that I'm still going to learn from this. And the other thing that I've found is I can take rigs that I've tied and I can pull them to a certain strength just to make sure they're going to hold up. Because sometimes you get a bad knot or you get a bad piece of line. Or in one case, I had a hook that I snelled it up and it broke at the snell, and it shouldn't have, at a very low pull strength. So I tied it up again and it did the same thing. So that hook went in the trash. There was some kind of burr there or something that was damaging the line. So anyway, let's go over the pull tester. Okay, so here we are. This is just a 2x6. I painted it black because I had a spray can and I got tired of looking at wood color. So let me pull things over this way. Sorry, I've got stuff in the way over there. Try to keep things reasonably straight. Okay, so this is a linear actuator. That's what they're called. Basically, you've got this motor here. It runs off 12 volt DC. And this piece, the ram, will go out or come in, whichever way you tell it to go. You basically reverse the polarity and on the power, and it goes the opposite way. Great how DC works. So it's a 12-inch pull. I went through a lot of these actuators to find one that I liked. This one pulls at about 0.7 inches per second. A lot of them are half of that speed. And I was trying to give a reasonable strength of pull, right? Because, when a fish grabs hold of the line, it doesn't just slowly meander off. Now, if I could have found faster at a reasonable price, I would have gotten it. But this works for my test. It goes to, I don't know, 115 pounds, somewhere in there. It has a 12-inch actuator on it, which means this piece comes in and goes out 12 inches, which is very important because when you have mono, it stretches. So the other thing I did is I basically redid the rig a couple of days ago. And I added this, see this red piece here? That is a piece of track for kayak. I think I got it off Temu, but I'm not sure. And this allows me to move this puller so that the actuator itself, so if I need longer or shorter, I have that ability. Just take a screwdriver, come down to the screw here, and it moves back and forth. And then when I get it where I want it, just tighten that screw down, and we are set to go. So I use this battery. This is it's inside a box, but there's a lithium ion battery. I think that one's a 12 amp hour. It's for my kayak. It's what I run my fish finder off of. So from here, I added a switch, and the switch basically, you run the two leads from it, you run the two leads from the battery, and then you take these two and create jumper wires and you flip them. So this goes to here and this one goes to here. And so your power comes in here, and depending on which way you go is how the power is applied to the actuator. So if I push this way, then it goes this way. If I push it this way, it goes that way. And like I say, it's DC power, it just reverses the polarity. And then, you know, added some length on here, added some connectors and crimps, and then this is a, I think it's called an SAE connector. The downside to these is you have to keep your positives and negatives straightened out, because you can reverse them easily. They actually have a little gender changers, so that it basically will change our polarity changers, and it will change it. So anyway, that is this end of the rig. This is some strapping that you would use for like pipe strap, or I've used it when I am putting in new, it's an air conditioning part, not the condenser, the capacitor. Just kind of hold it in place if the new one didn't fit. And you can see it's a little loose there, so I can move it back and forth. A couple of wood screws holding it down, some wood screws holding down the track. And then, so the purpose of this is because when I move it off my desk, I'll set it up on its end, and I just don't want it flopping backwards. So that's all that's there for. And then this is a piece of a yoga block that I just cut a little sliver off of to slide under here, and that just kind of gives it some, keeps them flapping around. That's all it does. So let's slide her down. Now we're getting into the meat and potatoes. So this is the pull tester. So it's a pull or push tester, and it comes with various little accessories. The hook is mostly what I use, and on this, it's the FM500. I forget if that makes it 500 newtons, which is 100-ish pounds, or I don't know, but it does it newtons, kilograms, pounds, which is what I always use. You got a zero function, you've got a peak function, and the peak function is so that what's the strongest it got to, right? And that's what you want when you're doing a breaking strength. You want to know the highest it got to, not trying to get the camera on there and capture it. It does it all by itself. And then I have it mounted to this block. I don't know where I got this little block, but you could just mount it straight to the board. The downside to this, and probably all of the pull testers, the battery is on the back, so the battery door. So if you want to change the batteries, you have to actually take the 4 screws that mount this down so you can get it off, so you can change the batteries. Now, like I said, the linear actuator is 12 volt DC. You could use a AC to DC 12 volt adapter, do it that way. I just use the battery because I have it available. So that is the pieces and parts to this. And in case you've never seen it in motion, I'll plug it in real quick. I will give you a strong suggestion. That is, your switch goes on this side, because if you have to reach over while you're holding the switch and you've got mono under pressure here, when it snaps, it will leave some scars. These are months old. So it did some good welts on there. Broke the skin, the whole 9 yards. But so you can see this moves in and out. And then, if you get the 2 hooks connected to something, it will test the strength. So that's it, everybody. Again, I do have an Amazon affiliate link in the description. I also have a PC Fun link. So if you're interested in buying PC Fun rods, reels, line, whatever, check out their website. If you use the code, it's first time buyer, first time sign up, whatever kind of code. So it's $25 off of $70. You use that, it will send you a code. You use that code pretty much immediately. You get a $25 coupon, which is what you're going to use there. I get a $25 coupon. Everything works out. Again, 25 off of purchase of 70 or more. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. We will see you on the next one. Have a great day.